After about 6 months of life-altering changes, you, like millions of other Black Americans, could be feeling anxiety, overwhelmed, or even alone in this pandemic that our generation has dubbed Rona. We're here to see what our community thinks about COVID-19, as well as see if we can scratch the surface of why this pandemic negatively affects our community more than any other community in the United States of America. Welcome back to the Coalition of Color. You won't want to miss it.
Huh? Huh? Yeah. Melon,
Oh no, back row.
The coalition of color, my brother, rock your crown. I'm here to show you the power inside the color brown. Now's the time to open up your mind to what they tried to hide from the real royalty. Open up your chakra from your brain to your feet.
Hello, and welcome to the Coalition of Color. So we all know, unfortunately, that COVID-19 has impacted our lives in crazy, crazy ways, right? But the one thing that is so funny is all this information that we're getting, we don't know who to trust, whether it's doctors, politicians, your mama, social media. Who are we supposed to believe? The one thing that is clear, though, unfortunately, is that Black Americans are being impacted at an exponentially higher rate than other Americans. So this week, we went to our favorite location, Black Lives Matter Plaza, as well as a few other spots in our community to see if we could uncover some things that our people are going through in the midst of the government trying to reopen our country in the middle of this pandemic. Check it out.
All right, welcome back to the Coalition of Color. We are here with Starshima and Miss Lily, and we're just going to ask them a few questions about COVID-19 and their thoughts on how it's affecting the Black population. So guys, just a question. Do you guys have children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews in the school system that are going back to school in the fall?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Awesome. Are you guys comfortable sending your children back to school in the fall?
No, not at all. Basically, I feel that it's going to be very difficult to practice social distancing and very difficult to limit the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And you know, my nephews are like 9, 7, and 6, and they don't wear masks very well. Even when we go to the store, they're fidgeting with them and stuff like that. So that measure of protection, I don't think will really be there.
No, I would not be comfortable with them going back to school in the fall.
So to that point, Jess, I know you have some little people at home. Are you comfortable with sending them back out into the world? If you are, what does that look like?
Into the world? No. So Maryland is talking about opening schools, and initially I was completely against it. You know, I would have gone to get certified to be a homeschool teacher or something like. You know, I don't know how that would happen, but I was completely against it. However, I am fortunate enough that that my kids go to an independent school, so I think a consensus that they have come to is that they're splitting each class in half, and one half of the class is going to go Thursday, Friday, and then come back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then the next half would go Thursday. So there's a lot of break, you know, and they clean throughout the whole thing.
As a follow-up question, how large was the class before they split it in half?
Good point.
Because
my
this is an
10-year-old
independent school that we're talking about.
My 10-year-old has 9 kids in his class. And
This is before COVID, guys.
my 6-year-old has 13.
This is before COVID.
So they're going to split it even smaller. Shout out to y'all.
This is another issue I feel like we have with the education system, but that's a whole nother issue on its own.
So I feel like if they came out with a plan that made me feel comfortable, but just simply saying that you're going to open, especially like you just mentioned with 30, 35 kids in a classroom, there's absolutely no way to social. At best, you're talking 2 feet apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we're saying that the worst is 6 feet apart. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like that, and nobody's taking into consideration, or I think they talked about it at this point in time, but it's not the kids that's really the issue.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
yes.
It's the teachers, it's the janitor, it's the grandparents that the kids are going back home to,
cafeteria
the babysitters, the after school care.
Yes.
You know, it's all of the adults that are gonna contract it.
Is the lack of physical connectivity, like social distancing, is it affecting you and your family? If so, how?
I've been coming outside since they said COVID-19 was
So you don't,
effective, so I don't believe in that shit.
you don't believe in it at all?
Without that human connection, there's definitely like a missing piece. I don't know if anybody knows or has experienced that, but it's definitely an adjustment.
Right,
Definitely a
absolutely.
transition.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, even like we haven't seen each other in I don't even know
Yeah, some
how
years.
long. Yeah, but we were like, we have got to link up at least
put on a mask and do something. 'Cause,
Right.
we need humans. I feel like we need that interaction.
It is. I mean, it's tough. Sometimes you want to be around people that your friends that you hang out with, friends and family that you usually see. Like I can't. My mother, she's like immunocompromised, so I can't really be around her and see her as much as I want.
Well, we've created a kind of like a secure bubble of friends who we've all, consistently test and make sure that we're safe, and we also practice social distancing from, just kind of like the outside world as much as possible.
Not really, because we connect with each other. We go outside. We've had a couple, since things kind of lightened up, because I live in Atlanta, a couple of set play dates with some friends.
Currently, yes, because a lot of my family mates, they've lost their jobs because most of them are, essential workers, and that requires a lot of interaction with people, and a lot of that has been minimized.
I do feel like we are missing something without having social interaction. You see what I'm saying? I went to a private school and a public school, and there was a big difference in the social interaction as well as a big difference in the educational aspect. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like you can give the educational aspect through all the technology we have. These Zooms, these whiteboards, these, this, that, and the other. But you can't fake
interaction.
Physical interaction.
Recess.
And I know there's plenty of dope parents out there, but I feel like you get so much from outside of your household. Your parents kind of beat this into you, and you get outside your household and you find out, oh, my friends think this way, or my friends' parents think this way, or they, so we're missing that. We're missing church.
Are you comfortable going back to work?
Hell yeah.
So do you work right now?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I got laid off because of COVID.
Because of COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're ready to go back to work now?
I mean, if they say, yo, like, let's go, yeah.
No.
No.
No. No, ma'am.
I'm not comfortable going back to work. It's kind of an enclosed space, with everything going on. I just feel like, I would feel more comfortable if there's like some more time that goes by before just sending everybody back at the same capacity.
Absolutely. Okay.
Actually, I left my job for that very reason, because they wouldn't give me health care, but they wanted me to come back to the office full time, and I'm not comfortable
without health care.
Correct.
I'm not working at the moment, I'm out here protesting everything.
That's
what I do.
So you're comfortable doing that without a mask, I assume? Cause you're,
I
okay,
told
cool.
you, since they said COVID-19 was out, no mask.
No mask.
The Most High gave me the free will to think for myself, so I'm going to think for myself and what I believe.
Okay, so do you use public transportation?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I see. That's the thing. I'm trying. I'm using also Ubers too. So I mean, sometimes I'll work far, from where I live. So the cost can be too high.
Yeah, I do a lot of contract work, so I take the metro everywhere I go.
Absolutely did. We used to actually have a subsidy for, the metro here, but now we all got sent home, so so nobody's using the metro.
Right.
Not me. Not this somebody.
Would you feel comfortable?
No.
Have you been using public transportation? I
usually walk. Health reasons, I can walk like 5 miles.
5 miles.
Are you comfortable using public transportation right now?
Hell no.
No.
Oh no, not at all.
We love going out into the community, hearing what our people have to say. Studies have shown that Black Americans are being negatively affected at an exponentially higher rate than any other demographic in the United States of America. So,
why do you guys believe that the Black and Brown community are more so negatively impacted than any other community in America in regards to COVID-19?
I think it's because our immune systems.
Okay.
Because what we're eating, like we eat the worst, so statistics are higher in those diseases that affect your body. So I think that's why I think that if we were eating better, then we wouldn't be so negatively affected.
Because we don't have access to the doctors and the finances to do what we need to do to take care of our bodies, then our bodies are shrinking, or we're dying from all kinds of diseases that we shouldn't be dying for.
We do know that the virus is very, very, it attacks your immune system. So people who have underlying conditions and just our lifestyles and
I think so. A lot of my background, I'm a music lawyer, an environmental lawyer actually. So a lot of my background has been rooted in understanding like environmental racism and environmental justice, and just historically we've seen this reoccurring theme of people of color, specifically black and brown people in America, getting the lower end of the stick. That's why I'm an advocate for uplifting our community and us caring for ourselves, having our own things. Because we have seen historically that if we leave it to the American government, it's not going to happen. So,
with that being said, we are adversely affected. Many of us in our communities are essential workers, and we have to be put on the front lines at risk, more so than other groups, and as marginalized groups, it definitely does affect us.
I guess based off of the interviews, we can kind of narrow those down to 4 things. So 1, we live in more densely populated areas. And 2, we have a higher risk of having these underlying issues like the kidney disease and things like that. And we're more likely to not have adequate health care. We've all seen Obamacare and this whole battle back and forth between that. And also, a lot of our people work in industries that require us to be on the front lines. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people of other cultures, they're able to telework and go home, where a lot of people in our culture, they're the grocery store clerks, they're the people that work at the bank, and stuff like that requires them to actually have to be out there. For things though, let's just take a minute and pause and really hone down on the fact that all 4 of these things directly stem from systematic oppression or racism or something holding us down. You see what I'm saying? So now you fast forward after all of these 400 years and stuff that racism doesn't exist and oppression doesn't exist, and here we are with the pandemic, and our people are suffering at higher rates than anybody else. Disproportionately. Who was just talking about that? D.L. Hughley. Disproportionate.
Now, what would you guys like to see the government do to restore some sense of normalcy?
Well, I think that, had we did like an actual real shutdown for a couple weeks, we wouldn't have this problem rising again. There are other countries that did like total shutdown for 2 weeks, like stack up your groceries for 2 weeks and then shut down. We had grocery stores opening, so that was everyone's outlet.
So I would like to see more of a universal basic income. Actually, that's what I would like to see more of. I know certain countries around the world, they're trying like pilot programs. I know Alaska gives their people like a certain stipend, each year.
I think honestly we need to have a consistent message. And I think the leadership of this country, as well as, should show a united front with the local state, leadership, and say, hey, here's a workable solution. It's not based in money, it's based in science, it's based in us being a healthy nation.
I would like to see someone with common sense in office. I would also like to see, first actually to start with reparations, because I haven't received a check, but it would be nice to see a panel or people who actually care about the health of American citizens, because we're paying taxes, we're doing all this stuff, but when it comes time to put real emergency policies in place to help protect the people that are paying these people's salaries, I'm seeing a disconnect.
Just let people stay at home, until we feel comfortable and we feel ready for the second wave that potentially can happen. Restore that $600 a week that they were giving out on a federal basis back to the people,
right?
Because $300 plus a week is not much.
Okay.
Let's be real.
Black people need to do for themselves. Stop asking the government to help a problem. What's wrong within our community. We have to do it ourselves. They are not going to do it for us at all.
Right.
I don't care how much you march, how much you yell at them. They don't give a fuck.
One of the guys said out there today, I don't think there's anything that can be done to give us normalcy, but to help the current situation, I feel like making a mask mandate nationwide would help drastically. And if
you think people would feel more comfortable going out?
I don't care about their comfortability. It's more so about I think we would be able to reduce the spread of it because it's not comfortable.
Oh, most definitely.
You know, and it's it's absolutely trash.
So you're saying that the new normal is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I think we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
And I think that's a very good point because I think everybody wants things to go back to normal. But what is normal now? You know, I think at this point, normal has changed. If not immediately right now for us, obviously, for some time in the foreseeable future until this can, you know, kind of calm down or, you know, kind of work itself out. The best road for us forward as a country is to try to contain the virus as much as possible. And that, in my humble opinion, requires us sucking it up and just kind of having some patience, understanding that we have to make some hard decisions and be uncomfortable. Maybe go back in the house for a little bit, really get it under control, and then go back out and start our lives without such a risk.
Crazy thing is, I feel like we would have been in the house if it wasn't for George Floyd. But that's another story, right?
Honestly, the only hope would have to be a vaccine.
If there were a vaccination tomorrow, would you take it?
No.
No.
A vaccination is produced tomorrow.
Yes.
It
Hypothetically.
Right. Yeah, hypothetically.
There's no vaccination.
There is no.
Right. Don't call us
Aside
talk
from
about
hydroxychloroquine or whatever, right?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Not that though, right? Legitimately, right? Like hypothetically speaking, the CDC produces a vaccination that they claim makes you immune, right? So you take this, you don't have to. It's not like the flu shot. You don't have to go take it once a year. You take this one shot, and it cures you from COVID-19. You can go on about your happy, merry life, not worry about contracting. Do you go get the vaccination?
No, absolutely not.
I wouldn't either. I don't get the flu shot.
No,
so,
I don't. Right.
So I have to get
non-flu
the flu shotter.
Yeah,
I refuse for a very long time to get the flu shot because I'm also a little leery of the healthcare system. I've seen entirely too much and whatever. But I have to get the flu shot because my mom is at risk. So a part of her condition is that everyone in her household has to be vaccinated with the flu shot. So I recently started getting the flu shot a couple of years ago. And we had this conversation in the house and my mom was like, and I'm like, no.
I'm struggling.
Are you in a apartment style living or single family living house?
I actually just moved out right before the quarantine because I'm out and about a lot and I don't want to put my family at risk.
I'm in apartment style right now.
Single family home.
Apartment style.
Single family.
Apartment type building.
Single family home.
A lot of us live in apartment style living, so when you're living on top of each other in a poverty-stricken area, it's kind of that makes for contamination.
Exactly.
You can't social distance when everybody's coming in and out of stairways and doors.
Do you guys have anybody in your household that is at risk? 65 and older, heart disease, respiratory illness, kidney disease, or diabetes? Sugar? Yes.
I do.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Check.
No.
So my mom has asthma, and you know my parents are they getting up there.
Fortunately not at risk, but still, like I said, exercise your precautions.
And we started this episode talking about the disparities between the Black community and other communities, and we've identified these 4 things, and we see how intricately woven together they are. If you put this same scenario on going back to work or going back to school, you think about transit. What does the school bus look like? Are you putting your kids on the metro bus and sending them, you know, like these things, it's extremely complex, and to just really try to force us reopen simply because of the economy. I understand the economy is a huge thing. We all need money. Money makes the world go round. But if there's nobody to make the money or
spend the money,
spend the money, what happens to our country? I think we really need to get our priorities just a little bit better in order.
Where do you get your COVID-19 information from, and do you trust the information you're receiving?
So I look at the CDC website. I actually I have some friends who are in the medical industry, so it's nice to kind of tap into them to see what information they're getting as well.
Twitter.
On the internet.
Yeah, CNN.
Facebook, Fox, ABC, NBC, CNN.
Mostly CBS,
Okay.
and then CNN, and then everything else online. I like to check the other, like BBC News.
Do you trust the information that you're receiving?
You know, do your own research to back up the information that you receive. That's with everything. Like,
Okay.
That's just my personal.
Okay. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I think it just depends on the issue. You know, what I'm seeing about it, and being able to fact check that with other reputable sources on the internet.
That being said, like, let's just ride this out as long as it takes. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just be safe. Or
Right.
whatever.
Absolutely. Agreed.
I need everybody to
Especially if it's our people that are dying way more than anybody else.
Let's just take those precautions, guys. Wear the mask.
Wear the mask.
For you, for your family, for other people's families.
Mask or no mask?
No mask, but wear a mask because they're gonna give you a fine.
Mask.
Oh, mask. I don't have it on right now because I'm outside.
Mask. I say mask.
I'm on the fence. Depending on where I'm going or what we're doing.
Mask.
Get your ass in the mask.
Mask. But you know what though? I ain't lying.
Okay. All right. I'm with it. Put that mask on. There you go. So let me ask you again. Mask or no mask?
Mask.
So this week, guys, it was quite interesting going into the community and talking to some of the people about COVID-19 and how it's affecting the Black American population. Statistically speaking, there are 4 major factors that disproportionately affect the Black American population, more so than any other population with regards to COVID-19. One is we live in densely populated areas, i.e. apartments and condos. Another one is we have higher underlying issues of health conditions. Another one is we have less adequate health care. And the final one is we require, basically, we work in those industries that require public contact. So we are frontline workers. And let's just keep in mind, guys, that these are the same issues that have been disproportionately negatively affecting the Black community before COVID-19. Okay, so of course, these same underlying issues are exacerbating the COVID-19 pandemic for the Black American community. So with that being said, wear those masks, stay safe, and make sure you check back with us for next week's episode on the miseducation of the Black millennial. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you care. Stay tuned for the blooper moment of the week, which will be funny. And we also have an artist of the week this week, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well. Rock your crown, guys.
Have regular jobs, like a 9 to 5?
Yeah. Not anymore.
Oh. Okay. So, right, we're gonna edit that out. I don't know. Some stuff, you know, it's the city. Anything liable to go down. Okay. That's what happens.
As this response has been from the government, federally, let's say,
Got a friend.
Oh, we have a friend?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a friend.
You got a big friend.
That's it. You all the way over there. The friend right here. Okay, Mr. Friend. Bye, friend. Bye, friend. I said bye, friend. Friend. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. No, ma'am. I have on open-toe shoes. Nope.
My family has always been very. Sorry, I saw a cockroach.
I'm like, all you had to do was say something. Don't do that, Justin. You know how I feel.
It was good information.
It
wasn't attacking. No. What happened? The cockroach started to come into the interview. Look.
He right there. Oh no! Come on, Justin, get him! Get him! Oh, he was quick.
He was.
He's gone. All right.
Oh, he's quick. I didn't even see him.
I didn't either. Sorry, I could not do it.
Please don't let him, Justin. He was big.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't play that.
Okay. All right.
I know, right? I don't
Okay.
do roaches.
Me neither. I grew up in Harlem. Okay, so I know roaches. Okay. I know roaches. I ain't bougie, y'all. I just don't do them no more.
I'm not doing it.
Anyway, so even though you don't necessarily believe in COVID and the effects of... I have on open-toe shoes. I'm not with that. Okay, so
do you use public transportation?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw that too.
And I don't have my glasses on now, so I really can't see. All I see is movement.
Yeah. Whoa. Split up. Yo.
I'm sorry. Why am I screaming?
They just split up. They're like 1,000 times bigger. Calm down. Bro, they're like zigzag attack.
I don't like the crunch under my feet, okay?
And all that white stuff. There.
Yeah, I can't, okay? Like, what was that, the Men in Black? Ugh. All that bug squishing?
Yeah.
Okay, so, are you comfortable?
Yo.
Ah!
Man.
You kicked the
you. No, I appreciate it. Thank
I want all
you.
of this footage to be in there. All of it.
You know it's not gonna be. Okay, this is crazy. Okay.
This whole thing was a joke to them, yeah?
Mhm.
And you already know how.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like we already know. I mean, I don't have to.
I need a medic. If I outbreak, it could be an epidemic. But if I break out, they gon' charge me as a felon. Will it play out? We gon' find out. Need a way out like the dope ain't selling. Need a way out like a breath exhaling. I'ma need a way out. Could you point me to the exit? We don't hang out, we just bang out. And we don't chase clout, boy, the clout chase us. Stay on that for the story when you're halfway up. Ain't no halfway crooks on a night so young. I might have to kill the lights, boy, they die so young. Not too many can relate. I was 0 days old when they threw me in the game. I see no more heroes like there's nothing left to save, but